Hi guys, welcome back to the channel for another video on Marvel Contest of Champions, and the focus of this particular video is Venompool. As you know, recently we've had the community choice based thing, so tomorrow you'll get to vote on which champion you want to see reworked or updated. Venompool in the recent 12 months has been given some synergy improvements, but it's not exactly fantastic. However though, what I'm going to do in this video is take a lot of the synergy groupings and utilize them and kind of go, right, well, are they positive for this particular champion? Because we could find that that could really improve Venompool and may not actually give him that vote that we really need. Because it might be the case that Venompool doesn't actually require any sort of improvement and could just be a fantastic champion in any case. So what are the champions of use? Well, let's not focus on things like armor. I want to talk about improving the champion by damage output or utilizing stuff within his particular abilities. Now, first off, family. I've gone for Symbiote Spider-Man in there in order to improve the health, which can be quite helpful to then have the character then around in the game a little bit longer. All champions gain 9% special 3 damage. And this is something that I like the idea of utilizing with other champions, and something in the future maybe that's something to go, let's actually use this but for some other champion to make their SP3 a lot more powerful. But let's face it, nowadays not many people actually use SP3s and just focus on SP1s and SP2s, so Venom is in. But with Venom, and this is the thing about improvement, all symbiote champions gain +4 attack and health, with as well family having that plus health as well with 6%. Symbiote Supreme comes in, which, let's face it, is alright when you're talking about bleed duration, and that's 20% increase. So yeah, okay, that is good. The champion does bleed, so we want to extend the amount of bleed that Venompool will be doing. And finally, putting in Get in the Pool. Debuffs and buffs have their durations increased by 25%. So that means an overall significant increase. I guess the major downside for me is that I have the 4-star version. I'd love to have a 5-star version just to play about with this a bit more, but as well the signature. It does feel that the champion needs a really extremely high amount of signature, so that percentage goes really high. So every 6 seconds the symbiote known as Venom has a 45% chance to access Deadpool's unique memory and grant him a random buff effect for a short time, even if he never actually had the effect in the past. And at times you kind of feel that that's not really triggering. So if you've got this champion, you've got it at extremely high signature and high percentage for the signature ability, then I'm sure that that is going to feel a lot better for you as a champion that you'd like to rank up and take further. But it is not really the case. And it does feel that that is something that does point towards, let's give this champion the vote. But I do like the fact that of the SP1, you can actually get some sort of healing. And basically, there's 87% chance to steal an enemy buff effect from the opponent to feed it to Deadpool to trigger the healing factor, recovering 953.9 health over 7 seconds, which does differ between star rating as well as the rank of this champion. But I had a bit of fun playing about with going against the Venom in Act 4 because there's a significant amount of buffs that the champion gets. So yes, it's good to have regen and it's good to have the signature ability, but they're not extensive. You're not going to see extensive regens. It doesn't feel that this is a guaranteed effect, and sometimes it's nice to deal with guaranteed things. One thing I did feel that was great was the special attacks, in particular bleed. Now, as we said, we increased that bleed effect, that debuff effects for this champion with those synergy groupings, and I did like the fact that it was ticking for a good amount of bleed. So if that is something that, if the champion does get the vote and does win, then hopefully it's something that Kabam home on and obviously look to increase and make that it's just an intense amount of bleed damage for this champion in the future. Which goes hand in hand with the SP3, where it's considered any bleed effect triggers last 41% longer than normal. So if you've got a bleed effect on, then make sure you put in an SP3. And it's kind of, that's where I think the criticism lies, that not everybody wants to wait around for that long ass SP3 animation, because it is disappointing to keep going over it. Yeah, it's great for the effect, but that's the time that people don't really do SP3s, is because the amount of time that it takes watching those animations is just very much repetitive and boring, where they just want to get into the fight, get the fight done and move on to the next thing. Venompool for me feels like it has been lost over the years, especially based on improvements with the whole kind of symbiote genetics and grasping onto buffs. When Venom the Duck came in, it kind of goes, right, here's Venom, here's Venom point 2, and then Venompool, which kind of felt like it was part of the Venom type thing, which obviously it is part of the symbiotes. Just felt that it's being kind of shoved to the side a little bit more, and it would be nice to see that it could be brought up to the same standard as like Venom the Duck, but have its own identity that is similar to Venompool or the Deadpool type symbiote, but is a lot more stronger. In short, Venompool does fall short. He gets this amazing opportunity to have all those different and various buffs, Energy Shield, Indestructible, that kind of Thunderstruck thing. There's loads in the pool of buffs and debuffs and interesting things to have that allow him to function well, but it's not substantial. Whereas a champion like Venom the Duck has this kind of like inbuilt genetic memory type thing that they kind of like stack over time, and then you're able to put them out at a certain point, or you're able to definitely damage output a huge amount and work the champion incredibly well. Where Venompool does want to stay in the fight a lot longer, but doesn't really do much. And I would love to say that the synergies really helped out in making him a lot better, but they don't. They really don't. The debuff increase of time, as well as the secondary one that's buff and debuff, is good, but it is not exactly keeping the champion in the current standard meta strength of the game, whatever you want to call it this week. It doesn't really feel like that. But in any case, that has been a video on Venompool. If you enjoyed this video, then hit the like button and subscribe for more Marvel Contest of Champions based content. What are you feeling towards voting for this character? Do you feel that this will definitely get your vote? Do you have a really strong 5-star version? Do you have it hugely signatured and hugely awakened? What are your thought processes on this? Put them in the comment section below. And make sure to drop into a live stream later at 1900 hours GMT. I shall see you there. Thanks so much for watching. I shall catch you next one. Bye bye for now.